So when I look at your art and I see the cultural messages, spirituality, ethnicity, what are you saying politically in your art?
Well, I try to say a lot of things. I want people to feel proud of themselves. So I try to glorify that to the point where I can take my own personal aesthetics and place it out there and let people get a different idea of who they are. Okay, I'm not trying to repeat what has already been done. I want to give some people a different view of themselves. And I like to tell stories. Now this is very important because see, having art, everybody can't have art, okay? And what this means is that art is like a symbol of a person's awareness of themselves.
Oh, I like that. I was
Okay.
going to ask you the definition of art.
Yeah.
Could you say that again? It is a symbol
of their awareness of themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you have art that you love, you've imprinted a certain ideal that you have about what appeals to you in terms of art.
Because I create jewelry and different things, and so it's it represents what I think. I love colors.
Yes.
I love the cultural messages that it brings.
And see, we're a vibrant people.
Yes.
We're a people that, I mean, we dress to impress a lot of times, and we walk. Even our walk is music. Woo. And it's got a rhythm to it. And, and I try to relay all these qualities in my work.
Now, is that how you came up with the exaggerated feet and exaggeration of the body parts and the height?
Right. So
to make us feel grand.
Grand. And we are. We're a grand people.
Yes.
Okay. And because if you survive 300 years of oppression and slavery, and we're still here,
and still,
that needs to be celebrated.
Come on.
See, so that's what I try to do, is celebrate that. But the thing is, I want my art to tell a story and affect not only adults but kids. So, because I know how that impacts the household. Because, like I said, when I was very young, I understood the power of art. Because I did these crazy things to get people's attention. So when I'm working on an Obama piece right now, and the whole idea is to get this into the homes that have children there, because one day a child is going to grow to the point of awareness of his surrounding, and he's going to ask Mama, "What does that mean?" Now that art allows you to get into a dialogue,
into a conversation,
conversation,
education,
in education. So I'm doing this picture of a woman, and she's negotiating this quilt, or she just finished this beautiful quilt, and every square on that quilt represents an accomplishment in the administration of President Obama.
What you say? I love that.
So. Obama's is not a portrait.
So we're not letting anybody wash away or dismiss his accomplishments.
That's right.
Through the art.
And then you can go step by step in a story on something that was very important to African American culture, a quilt. They said it was very instrumental in the history of slavery. Okay, it was a signpost for a lot of runaway slaves. So I'm grabbing that as a pictorial signpost to tell us where we've been.
That's right. I love it.
Okay.
Now you're getting ready to go on the Tom Joyner cruise.
Oh yeah.
And you're going to be teaching and speaking and having a display of all of your art.
Yes.
That's going to be exciting.
It's wonderful
because
you got all these positive.
Where are you guys going?
Well, I don't know. We leave in Galveston. Okay. My wife knows all.
She got all the details.
I'm just there. I'm just there. So I know it's going to be wonderful, and we're going to be around, a lot of wonderful people.
There's so many opportunities to get out there as an entrepreneur and to share with the world who you are and what you do. Has the social media and technology had any impact, positive or negative, on your business?
Let me tell you something. this is what I teach. I say, okay, I'm going to say something, but I don't mean it in a negative context.
Okay.
Okay. The whole situation with galleries. Okay. Here's what I tell the young artists: pay close attention to how our society trends, how we buy things, how we get the information on what to buy.
Okay.
Okay. That whole dynamic is changing. Anytime you've got somebody starts up a company called Amazon, and this man is worth $73 billion, will maybe be the first trillionaire. There's something that's moving, okay, when you have major clothing stores closing,
yes,
okay, for not because they're going bankrupt, it's because there's a better way of doing business. So everything is trending. Everything's trending, and they're following that social media guideline, okay, where what's happening is that our country is inventing something that saves people time. Keep in mind, anytime America comes across something for the American people that saves them time, it catches on like wildfire.
Yes.
And I'll give you an example.
Yes.
If you went to the store to buy those earrings, those beautiful earrings you have on, okay, first of all, you got to get up in the morning and make the decision that you're going to go shopping.
Yes.
Okay, you got to put on your clothes.
Put gas in the car.
Put gas in the car. You got to drive there, and you go to the first store to see earrings. You ain't made the decision yet.
Yes.
You got to go to 5 other places before you make a decision. Now, by the time you get that earring set on what you want to buy, how many hours do you spend?
How much? Yes.
Maybe 5-6 hours.
And
the
time
whole
is
day.
money.
That's right. But if you go online, see what you want, you can see it in a few pages, grab it, pay for it, and it's at your doorstep the next day. And now you can take all that time, those 4 hours that you would have spent,
and still with my grandson.
That's it. Voila.
Yes.
Now, it doesn't take a rocket science to understand that if you got something to sell, okay, if you put it in a gallery, you have to wait for the gallery to have a reception. They send all their people in there. There's no guarantee they're going to buy anything. But you can develop something on social media, okay, where you can reach 1 million people with one click.
Now, do you have a website where you're selling your...
We got several.
You have several?
Yes.
Well, make sure that I get all of those websites, and we'll make sure we include it with the video.
Right. So this is the power. So, you know, I have more time to paint and create because I'm not going out there trying to hustle it, go to a lot of places. I do go a lot now. Don't get me wrong, because you do have to make a personal appearance. But me and Elaine here at our work environment, that's where it happens.
That's right.
And we're talking to our customers every day, one-on-one. Okay? We're providing services to them. We're helping them with their collection, one-on-one. And see, here's the other thing. I don't just publish my own work. I publish the works of young artists, other artists as well. So we created a system that allows the best way for us to service our people. Because you have to understand the dynamics of art. Art is like buying a Mercedes when you only need a Volkswagen. They both do the same thing. But that Mercedes identifies that you could. So it's a symbol of your accomplishment. Yes. Because the old broken down Volkswagen did the same thing.
Yes.
Got me to work every day on time.
All right.
But if I can do it in a Mercedes, that tells people that, oh, Mr. Bibbs.
It's another symbol.
Yeah, it's a symbol. Art does the same thing.
Yes. Now,
it's about disposable income.
Yes.
When you work all week long, okay, and you pay all your mortgage and pay all your bills, that leftover money is for your enjoyment. And one of the enjoyments is buying a piece of art. One of the enjoyment is buying a better car with your disposable income, or buying a home with your disposable income, or doing all those things that you save up to do, okay, which are symbols of I worked damn hard and now I'm going to buy something for me.
Yes.
Okay? Art falls into that category. It's a luxury item. Okay? So you have to understand the clients. You have to understand the psychology of the clients that buy. When somebody walks up and he's going to give you $5,000 for a piece of art, that is so special. Not for you necessarily. The ideal that that person thought about you well enough that he would take his hard-earned disposable income and spend it with you. Now that is the most valuable moment in your life. I don't care if it's $50,000 or $100,000. I don't care if it's $100. Mm-hmm. If somebody spends that on art, that's a special moment.
I love how you are talking about the psychology of business.
It's all about psychology.
Isn't it?
You know
I
it
totally get that.
It's all about, and understanding that, understanding people, you know, and their desires will help you 100%.
See, and I thought I would be coming here today to talk to you about art, but you're talking about the business behind it, the psychology behind it, the sense of worthiness and accomplishment behind it. And also how you are embracing up-and-coming artists.
Yes. And
you're mentoring them, and you're embracing them, and you're showing them the way. That's just so awesome.
Yes, I go to artist booths, and I look at them, and I see them, and the first thing I ask them is, "Where's your book?" She said, "What book?" You are greeting people all day long. And they come up to you and say, "I love your work." And then you let them walk away. You can't afford to do that. Anytime somebody says they love it, but they don't buy, it doesn't mean that they're not a prospect for later. Oh. You should have something.
Or another product.
And when I talk about trending, what we used to do 20 years ago, we used to get names and addresses. You don't need that now. You only need a name and an email.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Or get their business
you know how
card.
many people that are our peers that just like, I don't have an email. I'm like, well, how do you expect to do business?
You can't do it. You can't be successful right without that. And believe me, it's gonna trend again.
There'll be some more trends.
And it's gonna trend again.
And we have to keep up with it.
Let me show you how sensitive this thing is. We have a period in our history, artist history. Mm-hmm. We coined it the golden age of African American art. That was between 1985 to 2005. Okay.
About 20 years.
But all that has been destroyed. I had over 3,500 dealers across the United States during the 90s. Okay. We sit down here and we shipped out thousands of orders a week. We had 15 people servicing us in our business, doing that, sales and distribution. Mm-hmm. What happened? You got to listen to this. This is so profound. When those planes hit those buildings in New York, okay, it changed everything. Yes. Psychologically, people got scared. Yes. And they stopped buying luxury items. They started hoarding their money. Mm-hmm. Okay, because this has never happened to this country. Right. And that was devastating. They even had sites for the White House. Thank God they never got the White House. That would have been a devastating symbol. But nonetheless, it changed our lives.
Changed the way we think and how we spend.
Yes. And sales went down hard. Okay. But then, you know, when God hits you, He'll turn around and give you something else. So when it hit its lowest ebb, social media came in.
Now, see, you just answered the question that I was going to ask you. A story of resiliency, which is one of my favorite words.
This country.
You had a dip, and then you came back up again because of the social media.
Yes, because it was another way of, people found another way to get the word out. Okay? Because all the things, we had all those 3,000 dealers I had across the United States, they went out of business within 10 years. Okay? And right now, if I ask Elaine, last count, we only have about maybe 150 out of those 3,000 left. All our major distributors and publishers went out of business. Yeah. But now we're putting the pieces back together.
Okay.
And now it's going to be a brand new day. We've got a lot of young, vibrant talent, and they're excited. And with all the movements that are going on now, I mean, you saw those young people in that demonstration.
Yes, yes.
I mean, this tells me that they're more aware at such a tender age than we were. You know, we left all that to the older people to take care of.
Yeah, but to the church.
Yeah,
right. We don't have to do the
right.
We don't get out there in the streets here. They're so articulate.
Now
they're so passionate.
Yeah, they're so engaged, and they're so artistically aware. And so I think that's going
They give me hope.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of hope.
A lot of hope. Now, as we come to a close, Charles, just thank you so much for this time. I could talk to you all day long, and I'm excited about the fact that you're sharing with us the behind the scenes of being an artist, because I'm sure whether you are a musician, an author like myself, a dancer, an actress, the business part is what you're helping us to understand. The psychology, tapping into your market.
That's it.
Putting some money to the side.
And sell yourself.
And knowing what it is to be an entrepreneur. And I have to be very transparent. That's something I didn't understand when I started years ago. I was just so excited, just excited to do it. I didn't think in terms of, I am a product.
You're a product.
Jewel Diamond Taylor is a product. And it took me a while to figure that out because I didn't have mentors like you. To pour into me. So I know the artists that you are teaching and impacting are very, very grateful that you're shortening their learning curve. What would you share with our audience today, specifically artists that are struggling, that are doubting themselves? The sales are not there. They don't have, you're blessed to have Elaine, you're blessed to have a lot of support, and you're blessed to have this inner confidence in yourself. What would you say to someone that is lacking those things?
Okay, first thing, if they believe they have a good product, they have to change their thinking.
Change your thinking.
Change your thinking, and I don't know, get a book, one of those dumbbell books on business. It doesn't take a whole bunch, and just apply your art to everything that's sellable. Okay. It's pretty standard.
What I'm hearing someone say, how do you price? Because that's the challenge I had too as an entrepreneur. How do you price your product? How do you price your service? Did you stumble a lot with that? Determine
your market and the people who you're going to expose yourself to. There are levels.
Start with the market first, not the product.
Right. So we have something for every economic level.
All right.
Okay. We have art for beginning art buyers. We have art for established collectors, and we have art for the elite collectors. Okay. And we don't leave nobody out. And then we educate them. Okay. Like it said in my bio, I started a magazine. Okay, it was one of the first magazines that kind of united artists and collectors, and sort of educated them on the elements of collecting art. Art is a collection, okay, but also art can edify the things in our daily life. So like I did a lot of images for major jazz festivals, blues festivals, and stuff like that, and where I just practically gave these posters away. Now see, being generous is another economic advantage that you can have, okay? We love our collectors so much that we give gifts out. It's not enough for you to come and buy something from me. You're going to get something back in return, okay? Because the word of mouth is the most powerful thing advertising that you can have, and you don't pay one dime for it.
That's right.
Okay, it's all about how you associate with the people that are buying from you. You got to cherish. That's your most important asset. Your people are an asset.
Exactly. I wanted to describe you in my mind, and the word that came to me before you even said it was, Charles Bibbs is generous.
Yes.
And you said it.
Yeah.
Tell me 2 other descriptions of Charles Bibbs. I've already said you're generous, you said, but Two things that were described.
Spiritual.
Spiritual?
Spiritual, because I believe that everything that happens to me happens for a reason. Not necessarily divinely, but I'm a spiritual man, not necessarily a religious man. Okay, so I believe in the power of goodness. Okay,
I like that.
And I believe in the power of giving, and I believe in a lot of things that I would search the Bible and look for little things that will say, that's something that I can use. You know, because one day I created a fictional figure to help me deal with the homeless. Okay, I found this passage in the Bible that said, be careful how you entertain strangers, because they can be angels unaware.
Yes.
So this whole notion of winged people is out.
Yes.
So we could be greeting angels in our everyday life.
Absolutely. So we've got generous, spiritual. What would be another word?
I think just being able to see things for what it's worth. Okay. And not be so critical about everything. Examine why people are the way they are. Examine and come to an understanding. Okay, because there's
so many points of view.
Yeah, there's so many points of view.
Have you traveled the world?
I've traveled some.
Yeah.
I've learned
What's the
a
most
lot.
interesting place you've been?
Japan.
Oh, really?
You know why? Japan was so interesting because I saw how rap, a urban discipline, came out of the urban cities, is affecting
all the
world.
They love to rap over there, yes.
Oh yeah, and I saw these kids on corners rapping, just like if you saw somebody in South Central LA. I said, this is amazing, an art form.
Yes.
Okay, and also I was in this taxi cab and I saw these beautiful little huts and little houses on the side of the canal. I said, what's that over there? He said, that's where our homeless people are. They make these colorful little like dog houses, just enough for maybe 2 people to sleep in, but they're aesthetically beautiful.
Yeah.
See, they address our problems in a totally different way. See, and then they use art to do it.
I love it.
Okay.
They fuse together.
Yes.
Many different elements.
They had a bad element that was degrading the appearance.
Yes.
Similar to not South Central LA, but Skid Row and Los Angeles.
Across the nation, unfortunately.
Yeah. But so in order to deal with that, I was inspired by that. But I wanted to find something good over there in Skid Row because my gallery was on 7th Street. On Spring. Skid Row was 1 block away. So I had this relationship with the homeless people. And that's when I came with that scripture in the Bible. And I said, I'm going to invent the bagman storyteller.
Come on, I love that.
The bagman storyteller is an angel of God who's sent down disguised as a homeless person. But the way you can tell him, he walks around with this stovepipe hat on.
I love that piece.
Where he allows birds to nest in his hat.
Yes.
And he has stories. He reads into your heart. If you gave him something, he'll tell you just what you need.
What?
And change your life.
So have you ever thought about writing like a storybook for children?
Yeah, that's why I'm talking to people like you.
That would be so awesome.
I have to tell you the complete story. It's pretty interesting. But I had one of the directors of the Skid Row down there, the homeless organization down there, called me. When I had my gallery downtown, it got around the Bagman Storyteller. And he says, what a clever idea. We have a different problem in Skid Row. I said, what is that? It's the young people. They don't hang out. Their habits are not like our traditional homeless person. They ride around in packs. They're on skates, skateboards, bicycles, and they run around in groups. They sleep on subways because it's safer for them. They're mobile.
I got you.
They don't stay in one place.
They don't.
And they've been finding them injured and even dead on the streets. The Batman storyteller they want to use and posters to tell these young kids where to go for help. Police departments, medical treatments, anything that they may need. There are places around town where they can go to get help.
So your art has a purpose beyond.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. I'm trying to take this art and make it be a social element in our community.
It's the social activism.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right, because we can do that. And at the same time, you know, it's gonna empower people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, people.
It's gonna reach people.
Yeah.
Speak to them in a language that they can understand.
Yeah.
Now, when I got dressed today, I was thinking, what am I going to wear today? Because I love colors, and so I wore this because.
Right.
What's your favorite color to use in your painting? Do you have a favorite color?
I don't.
You don't. Okay.
I don't because
I love jewel tones. Anything that's bright and colorful.
The color is part of the statement that you're trying to make in the work.
Okay.
So I use that, and sometimes I don't use no color at all. Some of my most powerful piece, and I guess I was influenced by Charles White.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he didn't use a whole lot of color, but his stuff was so strong. And even John Biggers did a little bit of that too. Mm-hmm. But it was so powerful. And that's where I had my first impression of what I wanted to do and how I wanted to look. You know. So
what is the longest period of time it took you to create a piece and say it is done, it is finished?
You know what? I have pieces that I started 30 years ago
and
still unfinished. Wow. I have thousands of works. See, here's my personal belief. I move around from things because I don't have a long patience with things. I don't want to start something and then finish it because I feel like I need to just get all these ideals out of my head. Mm-hmm. So I do a lot of interim sketches and drawings, and I put them away. Okay. There's another psychological thing that I tell young artists. I look at their work, and they're so impressed with it, okay? And I tell them, you haven't seen nothing yet that you can do, but you have to understand the value of what you can do. You have to understand your power. Right now, you don't understand your power. Here's an experiment I want you to do. I want you to finish a piece. Okay, like you just did for me. You showed me this, and you're so crazy about this piece. And I says, put this away for 6 months. Don't even look at it for 6 months, and keep painting. Come back, and this kid was only 19 years old. I says, come back in 6 months and tell me how do you feel about that piece. It was a profound awakening for him. Okay, because he found out that he had progressed so much
more.
Okay, and he wouldn't have been able to see that if he didn't do the experiment.
It's the same thing with me writing books.
Yes.
I'll write and I'll go away and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yes.
My consciousness is expanded. I'm much more aware of things.
Yes.
This was too simple.
Yes.
This was not deep enough.
That's right.
This was too shallow.
Yeah.
And then I walk away and I come back and it's like, I'm
all
going to
the answers. God will give you all the answers.
Yes, yes.
Because
so don't rush the process.
Incubation. That's the word I use.
Incubation.
Let things incubate. So I let things incubate. Sometimes it incubates for years.
Wow.
But I will eventually come back to all this stuff. I got stacks of stuff. And then I finish it. I said, oh, there it is. Let me go. Let me go and finish this. And then when I tell people, did you just finish this? No, I started it 20 years ago. But that doesn't mean I worked on it. All that.
Yeah,
I just got it out of my head.
Yes.
Okay, and put it on paper 20 years ago, and I finished it today. Okay, and I think that's the whole thrill of it. Really understanding your creative abilities and understanding what it really means to you and how it affects other people.
Did you ever have any moments where you doubted yourself, where you thought, you know what, this is not going to work, maybe I should go get a real job, maybe I should go back to corporate America? Did you ever have any of those moments?
No, I never did, even when things were really tough. I didn't have that because the joy was there. And I didn't want to go.
That's real wealth, right?
Yeah, yeah. And then there's that inner peace that you have through the struggles. I don't care, but as long as you're doing the things that you know is right for you. I mean, it's a God-given gift. Everybody has one, okay? And you're not going to be totally happy until you practice.
Until you're walking in it.
In it.
I often say I was born for this.
Yes.
You know, I have those cycles and those dips where I'm like, okay, is the phone going to ring? Am I going to be working? Are the book sales going to be there? And then at the end of the day, it's like, you know what? This is what I was born to do. I cannot compromise. I cannot backtrack. I cannot compromise this gift. This is who I am. And thank you so much for showing us who you are.
But keep one thing in mind, that gift evolves.
Yes.
You cannot overlook the fact that you cannot afford to stay the same. Okay?
That's right.
Society won't allow it. Our patience is too short. Okay? You know, we get tired real easy.
Yeah, and distracted.
Okay? So you have to always trim.
That's right.
Stay true to who you are, stay true to your style and your personality.
Yes.
But when society changes and makes about face, you got to go with it.
Exactly.
And use the same things to adapt to that. And you'll never starve a day in your life.
Well, you're allowing me to do that today because I love teaching and sharing. I love being with spiritual people, generous people, artistic people, loving people. And so you are allowing me to constantly redefine who Jewel Diamond Taylor is by interviewing amazing souls like yourself. You are an angel.
Well, I've watched you, and I watch you how you inspire people. Okay, when people can listen to what you have to say and get up and change their lives, that's the most powerful thing that a human being can do on this earth, is influence other people. And that's what you do. You do it well. Well,
we're in this game together. Thank you so much. This will not be our last time sitting at a table together.
We should not wait as long since the last time I saw you.
We won't. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you so much for watching today. This is Jewel Diamond Taylor. Be sure to connect with Mr. Charles Bibbs. We're going to share with you all of his contact information. Let him know how much you appreciated this interview. Let me know how much you appreciated this interview. God bless you, and stay in the light.